Alright, and starting Duel 3, Joe going first. Joe playing Dojo and then summoning 6 Samurai Zanji. And then pitching off Dojo. And going to Synchro Summon. Real quick. For 6 Samurai Shien, 6 Samurai Grandmaster, and Kazan coming out big in turn 1. Lure Darkness. Will he allow it? Joe says okay. So Chris will draw 2 and banish a dark monster, or discard his hand. Would hope with that many cards he has a dark monster. Chris taking a peek at his opponent's graveyard real quick. A Shien, a Zanji, and a Dojo are in there. And he will banish Dark Arm Dragon from play. And set a back row. Make that 2. Make that 3 back row. And a defense position monster. And he will pass the turn back to Joe, who will summon out Hand of the 6 Samurai, activating Fiendish Chain, which gets MST'd. Chris MSTing the other back row and activating another Fiendish Chain. And the Shien is now negated. Whole bunch of damage and crazy chaining going on. Joe now in top deck mode, but with significant field advantage. Using the Hands effect, sacrificing the Shien to get rid of Chris's monster. And moving to the battle pit phase, and Chris is going to take a total of 5,500 points of damage. That's going to move him down to 25. Excuse me, 58 points, 5,800 points of damage, so he's at 22. And Chris is going to activate Monster Reborn, bringing back legendary 6 Samurai Shien. Setting another back row. And entering the battle phase. We'll attack the Hand of the 6 Samurai to do 900 points of damage. I'll turnabout of fair play here is Chris with one of Joe's trump monsters on the field, the 6 Samurai Shien, but it is Joe's turn. Joe taking a peek at his extra deck. Chris with one hand, one face down. Chris at 2200, Joe at 71. This is game 3. Very good duels so far. Chris now looking over at his extra deck. And Chris is going to negate the Rhoda search by Joe. Joe will pass. Goes back to Chris. Chris still stacking his back row, with Joe's monster as his only mode of attack, it seems. And he will use this opportunity to take out the legendary Grandmaster. Or excuse me, just the Grandmaster. Joe, setting a face down, turns back to Chris. Joe's still not switching his monsters to defense mode. And Chris will destroy Joe's last monster and inflict 700 points of damage. It is Joe's turn once again. Joe sets a second back row. Chris activating Pot of Duality. So let's see, Book of Moon, Curse Seal of Forbidden Spell, and MST are Chris's options. He's going to choose the Mystical Space Typhoon. Curse Seal and Book of Moon will go back into his deck. Chris now using Foolish Burial. So far this has been a very close duel. Chris using the Mystical Space Typhoon he brought to hand now. And Chris will use his Forbidden Chalice, it would seem, on his Samurai. That will boost the Samurai to 29. Samurai's effect now back in play. Chris summoning Thunder King, and that is it.